What happens when a man is so terrified of being friend-zoned, he makes a wish on a stick? Well, let me tell you, I finally got around to watching Obsession and I was in no way disappointed, only surprised by the events that transpired throughout the movie, and once you realise who the real villain is, you will be utterly horrified as you watch the progressively disturbing events unfold. There will be spoilers in this video, so do proceed with caution. Sorry in advance. We're introduced to Bear immediately, rehearsing his grand speech with his friend and a random waitress that he intends on delivering to Nikki, a girl he works with, professing his undying love for her and hoping to initiate a relationship between the two. Sweet, right? Wrong, because what ensues is what far too many women face in life: not reciprocating feelings and being punished for it. I may be on my soapbox for a lot of this video, so if I haven't reached my target audience, feel free to click away right now. Before I spiral too much, I should say we are on Bear's side for maybe 10 minutes of this film, when Nikki informs him that she's lost her crystal necklace, and his first instinct is to drive to an occult shop and buy her a new one. However, instead of doing that, something else catches his eye: a One Wish Willow. A novelty item that, upon breaking it in half, should grant you your wish. It should be noted that he intends on giving this to Nikki as a gift, but he does miss his opportunity. And this is due to the fact that Nikki opens the door for him to tell her how he feels about her, asking, "Do you like me?" However, his fear gets the better of him, and he says that they're good friends. He also calls her by a horrible nickname that she absolutely hates, because he's terrified of being vulnerable and admitting his feelings, versus Nikki, who makes it very clear that it hurts her. Anyway, he ultimately doesn't give her the One Wish Willow, instead making his own wish. Selfish. Wishing that Nikki would love him more than anybody else in the world. Within seconds, he got his wish, as one of the most iconic shots of the movie plays out. Nikki stood motionless, staring at the car before inviting Bear inside. The wish seemingly granted, but as they say, be careful what you wish for. We are shown snapshots of the flourishing relationship, seemingly normal to an outside eye, a loved up couple who can't get enough of one another. But once we delve deeper and explore closer what's actually going on, the entire thing is harrowing, and I mean harrowing. Nikki clings to Bear, entrapped by the wish, stripping away her choice of being able to choose who she wants to be with. Instead, she is trapped inside a cursed body which she has no control over, possessed by the wish itself. She manipulates Bear, lashes out and freaks out whenever she can't fulfill the wish, which is simple: to love him more than anyone else in the world. When she can't act on those impulses, she has meltdowns. When he goes out, she stands motionless, waiting for him to return, resulting in her body reacting in its own way as well. One specific scene showing her drenched in sweat, vomit on the floor, and bodily fluids everywhere. While all of this plays out, Bear begins to spiral, of course, blaming Nikki for her actions. He pushes Nikki to the brink of madness and blames her for what she's becoming. But in reality, what we know is that Nikki is trapped, desperately wanting to be free from the wish. In one particular scene, she overrides the wish and begs him of this, and his response is, "What is so bad about being with me?" What we witness Nikki put herself through in the film, the damage she inflicts on herself and others. Not once does Bear stop to ask, is she okay? Or what has he done? That's the better question, really, isn't it? Instead, with that one question he asks her, he proves once again that he is only thinking about himself. The lack of consent in this film is striking, but thankfully Curry Barker, the director, understands this, making the strong point that Nikki is not the villain, but instead it's the fearful man who couldn't confess his feelings to begin with. The man who was so scared to be friend-zoned, he took away a woman's right to choose. He was never even rejected by Nikki. She gave him the opportunity to tell her how he felt. Instead, he's rejected by the version of Nikki that only exists in his mind. His wish was created by fear. The wish he makes is based on control. He didn't ask for Nikki to choose him. He asked for Nikki to love him more than anyone else in the world. One allows for free will, the other removes it. That is ownership. The horror isn't the supernatural wish, it's that Nikki's agency disappears. Every decision she makes is dictated by someone else's desires. She's trapped inside her own body, aware of what's happening but powerless to stop it. The irony is Bear gets exactly what he wished for, to be loved. But when he gets it, the affection, the attention, the endless validation, he hates it. Because it isn't love, it's possession. It might be easy for someone to misinterpret the real message behind this movie, but it's clear. Cory Barker is making it known that obsession is commenting on how women are treated and dismissed, and he wants you to be aware of this. For a first-time filmmaker, this is a statement film, one that will be remembered by horror movie lovers for years to come. Not to mention the exceptional performances by the two leads, Indy Navarrete being a shining star, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for her. Obsession is incredibly effective. On the surface, it is a supernatural horror about a wish that backfires, but underneath it is about selfishness, insecurity, and what happens when someone's need to be loved becomes more important than a person's freedom to choose. The One Wish Willow was never the monster because the monster was there the entire time. It just allowed it to surface. If you've watched Obsession, let me know your thoughts, whether you liked it, whether you hated it, what message you took away from it, and I will see you in the next video.